Okay, so let's review. Last episode, we found out, first off, Chris has zero athletic capabilities.
I broke my phone, fell off the ladder, had multiple encounters that I couldn't shoot deer, missed a deer.
Forgot about your
was
bruised
having to
black
self-film.
ribs.
Yeah, I had bruised ribs.
2, Chris's ability to rhyme or reason anything within a stressful situation has completely gone out the door.
I was getting ready to shoot, had to let the camera down, hit the stupid camera. The camera flies around sideways.
It's honestly probably bad for me to smile. Every day, I actually lived to get the text messages from Chris about just how bad he had messed something up.
Remember that time I almost killed a booner in Indiana? Me too, because it was just a second ago.
Last episode, I said, put on your helmet and buckle your chin straps. Well, for this episode, you better leave it on, put in your mouthpiece, and put your goggles on.
I have sat here for 13 days. I'm finally gonna get a shot at a giant, I mean probably the second biggest buck on this farm.
So that ends the Indiana saga for this year. This has been the worst season of my entire life, and I've had a lot of bad seasons.
He's on the next ridge. It's a poke. And I told him, you've got to shoot this deer. You're not gonna have any other chance to kill a deer. He says, I can't shoot that far. And I said, you're gonna have to.
I had a hole like this.
Anyways, the deer's standing there for an hour.
I hope it's one of those that you walk up on it and you're like, oh my God, he's way bigger than I thought he was, type deals.
I'm like, please don't let this be something Jason and Eric I'll never live down.
Dude,
Told you it was a good deer.
dude, he's way bigger than I thought he was.
That doesn't happen, people. 10 yards at the base of the tree.
Unbelievable morning.
He killed that man all the way.
That's a big deal, Chris.
Are you kidding? What a deer, son.
I'm kind of like Eric. Every day, I was more interested in getting text messages from these two than what was going on in Kansas with us. We would get pictures of Matt sitting in a tree with a laptop.
But some colored headphones on with a computer somehow on typing on it first class.
Matt is back in the tree with me, and he's got web training on the computer. So he's sitting behind me in the tree on his laptop. Hold on, I'll go turn his camera around and look at this idiot in the tree. November 9th, during the rut, and he's on his computer.
Shh, I'm trying to.
Well, there's my partner. You're screwing me. What are you gonna do if a deer comes? Same thing you've done the last 2 days sitting in the room? Nothing?
Probably one of my favorite ones was one morning, obviously dropping his gloves on the ground.
Is that the second time you dropped your glove out of the tree?
That's the first time.
No, it's not.
I don't remember the other time.
Chris made him wear a tube sock one day on his hand because he wouldn't let him get out of the stand and get his gloves.
Can I borrow one of yours?
No.
You're like Eric Hale, you won't share nothing.
All the time forgetting something.
That was as entertaining as anything for us.
At this point, I told Jason, I said, the only way that they're gonna come home with a deer is if they go to the convenience store and some dude from down the road has killed a deer and he's checking it in and he's gonna let him take a hero pic. That's the only way they're coming home with a deer.
I'm telling him to watch down here in this bottom because we got a booner. Got on camera down there. I can't see the bottom. It's literally 75 yards behind him back here. I can see it right here.
And as we have sat here for the last hour and a half, the last 2 episodes, I literally can tell that my IQ level is slowly but progressively falling to a point that now I'm not even sure if I remember what my name is.
Do another one like that. Don't say that Veterans Day because it's not Veterans Day. That was yesterday.
I ended up getting bed bugs. And we weren't like in a roach motel. It was a pretty nice motel. Matt's bed didn't have the bed bugs. Mine did. So the whole trip, 2 weeks, I'm covered. It's completely red dots.
Tell them about our nightly meal we had. Where was the only place to eat?
Lady at the front desk, though, he said, is there a nice place to eat? And she goes, yeah, this place serves good food right down here at the state line. Well, it's a state line liquor store. They had liquor.
And pizza.
Hey everybody, be sure to head over to our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram at RedRisingTV. Check us out. You're going to want to stay up to date for all the giveaways we're doing, exclusive behind the scenes footage, and more about the cast.
Go ahead, subscribe to our channel, like it. You're going to get that little notification bell. It's going to go off, let you know when something new. Hit follow, subscribe. Happy hunting this fall. We love everybody. Thank you again. If you watched last week's episode, you're going to understand how bad he just completely screwed my hunt. Made me self-film for 2 weeks. All he said, once he learned that he wasn't going to be able to hunt, was, all I care about, Chris, is getting you a deer. That's all I care about. That's my whole goal of this trip. The first chance that he had to hunt, which was the weekend, his very first words out of his mouth were, well, I'd like to get a deer too. Exact word.
Sitting here, there's cut cornfield to our west, bedding to our east, and I'm telling you, there's rubs all up and down this old logging road. So the temperature's right, hoping this rain will hold off, and I'm telling you, there's some big bucks in here, so hoping this afternoon we can let this expedition eat, get a big buck on the ground first afternoon. Alright guys, it is November the 11th? Yeah. It's the 11th, afternoon. New spot. Chris and I have yet to set this stand until this morning. It was slow first 2 hours. We thought, once again, we chose the wrong stand, but 10:30 deer movement picked up. Saw a couple of small bucks running does, and then we saw the big split G2 buck with the doe. Probably 100 mid-70s deer. Got to 70 yards here, and I thought Chris was going to kill him. Doe took off, and he took off after us, so 34, 35 degrees, southwest wind, perfect afternoon, so deer already on their feet. We're hoping, fingers crossed, one of them swings by here. That's the same deer that we had the encounter with this morning, with the same doe. Every deer that came by this morning, except for the split G2 buck, has come back by us. So we saw him a few minutes ago, him and a big 6-point with a couple of does, but they have yet to come this way, so I don't know, clock's ticking.
Do it again, he didn't hear it. That's good. If he starts coming, don't forget to tag the camera. Here he comes. Here he comes. He's trying to get downwind. He's trying to get downwind. Oh, there he is.
Alright guys, it's morning, November 12th. Chris and I are still in Indiana. First morning, Chris and I have had deer activity just after daylight, but big 6-pointer. The deer, actually, we've been in here hunting, one of the two. Saw him last night with a doe, could not get him to come within closer than 100 yards. He's working right down this road bed this morning, gets to 70 yards, making a scrape, rubbing a tree. I grunt. Chris and I thought for sure he's coming on a string. He gets to 40, cuts back trying to wind us. We absolutely cannot buy one to come by us so we can get a shot. But big, probably 275-pound whitetail, 6-pointer, but gigantic, probably 6-year-old. Hope that they're on their feet moving this morning. We'll get a shot at something, but that one didn't go as planned.
We're sitting there, and of course, I've got a tube sock on this hand, a glove on this hand, and man, we've been fighting all morning. I don't remember, it was beautiful morning, a frosty, cold, you know, and all of a sudden I look across that field and I said, what is that? He said, looks like a parade of deer. I said, it is. And they're coming across this field, and I said, one of them's a big deer, big shooter. He's 100 yards. Next thing I know, we hear this truck coming barreling up this dirt road.
Some dude just came up the road in an old beat-up extended cab blue F-150 truck, saw our truck, made a point to rev his up, pulled into this lane, turned around, revved it up again, and took off, while I've got a big, huge 10-pointer with a bunch of does coming directly to the base of the tree out of this field. That's just how the last 2 weeks have been. If it can go wrong, it has went wrong. So more, I'm sure, for the episodes and lives of times of Chris and Matt's stupid adventures.
Make sure you subscribe and like the page. On top of that, make sure you click the little notification bell. That way you'll be one of the first ones to know when a new video drops.
Well, 12 days into a 7-day trip, we were out of hand warmers. We were out of everything. Matt had used every one of mine. He didn't pack a single one. It's, 25 degrees. There's no stores around for at least an hour and a half.
Chris is like, you've used every hand warmer I've got. My feet are cold. I said, there's nothing. I'm not driving 50 miles to the nearest store.
I cannot survive without hand warmers. I can't do it. And I know Matt can. I said, what can we do? What are we gonna do? He said, hey, let me jump on the Sportsman's Guide. I can get some here by the next day.
We're on there, we're getting hand warmers and ear muffs. And Chris got a pair of them battery operated socks that look like an ankle bracelet.
$300 later, we have all this stuff coming to our motel room in Indiana, and we are gonna be set for the next 15 days.
All right, good morning from the Hoosier state of Indiana. Chris and I have been here almost 2 weeks now. And I wish we were just getting here today, because gun season opens tomorrow. And these bucks have beat us to death for the past almost 2 weeks. Chris has had a couple of opportunities, just couldn't get anything to work out. I haven't had one within bow range. Now, we've seen a bunch of big deer, so we can't complain about that, but we're running out of time. We come back to a stand that we haven't had a wind to hunt in almost since we've been here. We hunted the very first morning. Chris passed a pretty good 3-year-old buck. And we've been sitting on another stand just off this ridge. We can see this spot and deer funnel through here all day. It snowed, it's high pressure, it's clearing off, hoping these big bucks are on their feet. And one almost strolled through here and I can get a shot because both of us, our spirits are in the tank, so we need some kind of good luck charm here to pick us up. I should have found it. Where? I see it. Shoot it again. I don't even know. Dude, that was 47 yards through the brush.
Everything he does gets on my nerves. He complains, he whines, he's a baby. But that was one of the best shots. And I've sat in the tree behind Eric and Jason a whole lot. But today, that was one of the best shots I've ever seen on a whitetail buck. And I was actually impressed.
First time I ever shot a deer with an expedition bow. I don't even know what to say. This is Jason's bow, the one he killed a couple of his big deer with. He said, take it, use it. He said, I swear, he said, it's a deer killer. We've had all kinds of bucks running back and forth, and I told Chris, I said, I need one shot opportunity, just one. I'll be darned if I didn't get it. And I think I capitalized on it, so.
Who told you to come to this ridge?
You shut your mouth. Well, I had to shoot it because you can't have been able to hit one.
We need you to support us, guys. So go over, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And every time we post something, you're going to get that little bell going off and you're going to know instantly that you can go over and watch it and catch what's going on.
Chris said he heard him crash. I thought I did. He should be in this thicket, so we're gonna go over here, see if we can get our hands on my first Hoosier buck. So I hope it's one of those that you walk up on it and you're like, oh my God, he's way bigger than I thought he was, type deals. Those small diameter VAP TKOs and that dead ringer. Definitely right there, brother. Definitely. Dude.
Told you it was a dude.
Dude, he's way bigger than I thought he was.
Look at where he's died.
Thank you, Lord. Look at that deer, Chris. Dude, that's a stud. I want you to look at the mass. There's a split G2 genetics. He's not the booter I've been chasing all week, but he's certainly a giant. My second buck for Red Rising. I'm telling you what, Chris and I have fought. We have battled for 2 straight weeks, and we've got 2 more days after today, and I'm hoping little buddy can get one, but I kept saying I just need one shot opportunity. 47 yards, one opening about the size of your head, and that expedition just tore him up. Pinwheeled him, ran straight to me, and I put another one in him at 25, and we heard him crash on film. And I'm gonna tell you what, high pressure, snow on the ground, Midwest, bucks were on their feet, and it is one of those mornings that you absolutely dream of as a whitetail hunter. The Ward Bullen saga, I swear. I didn't think we were gonna bring one of these home, did you, little buddy?
No.
But it was just one of them days that everything came together and the good Lord blessed us. Wow.
I just had to drag the deer. Matt's got to get back for more training, so I've got to screw with his deer the rest of the day and not get to hunt this evening because of it.
And you got it.
And I gutted it, and because he didn't want to get his clothes dirty and stuff. So now the clothes that I need to hunt in are covered with blood.
You already got chiggers and some kind of nasty disease on you. It's gonna hurt you.
That's what penicillin's for.
Last night we were watching the History Channel, and it was about mountain men. And there's a old guy on there, he had 2 spiked deer antlers, and he was rattling like this. And he took his shoes off at his bare feet and poured deer pee on his feet. It was rattling.
That was so he could rub his feet in the leaves and the mud, and those big bucks would come.
He got him a spiked deer buck.
So gun season starts in Indiana. So we go to the place where we had originally had the encounter with the booner. We hadn't seen much that morning, and I just happened to catch some movement over my right shoulder, and I'm thinking, finally. He stops at 11 yards, and he's just standing there. Guess where my muzzleloader's at? Like an idiot, hanging up in the tree above me. So I'm stuck. I can't move at all. I can't reach and get my gun.
It's behind a tree. You better hurry.
And the deer walks off and walks out of my life. And that one was truly my mistake. I should have had the gun in my hand, and I didn't.
Well, this trip just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Today's our last day. It's our last morning in Indiana. Look back, and he was literally came in straight, dead downwind. We had been set crushing our clothes every night. I wasn't even expecting anything to come from that direction. And he came in right below us, and I just couldn't get I could not get the gun around. I could not move. He looked right up at us. And by the time he started walking behind these pine trees, and by the time that I could move and get on him, he was in the brush, and I wasn't gonna take that shot, so.
I looked at Matt, and we climbed out of the tree, and we drove home.
I have no words to say how frustrated I am with everything that happened, but I can't complain. I was sitting in the woods for 2 weeks in the Midwest rather than sitting in my office. Probably one of the best hunts for seeing mature deer I've ever had, and also one of the most frustrating hunts. But it's hunting, and it was fun.